Hope you are enjoying the videos, and I guess you must have subscribed to our channel. If not, do it right now and press the bell icon so that you get the latest update. And of course, do not forget to like and comment. So let's start. Well, we have learned many questions. What is climate change? Why it is changed? Because of carbon energy. When are you going to correct it? Right now. Who is going to correct it? I am. So the next question is, how should I correct it? Isn't it? What should I do in my day-to-day life? But before we understand what should I do, let me tell you what we should not do. Because many times understanding what is not the solution is, I think, the first step in figuring out what is the solution. In other words, we have to understand that what are the things that we think is the solution, but they are not working. And why I'm telling you this? Because our experience suggests that science is growing, technology is growing, policies are growing, but the problems are growing even faster. Climate change is accelerating. That is why let us understand what is not the solution. And I'll tell you that planting trees is not the solution. Collecting plastic is not the solution. Developing technology is not the solution. Making policies and growing economically, these are all not the solution. They are good, but they are not the solution. Let's understand. Well, when it comes to environment or global warming, climate change, many people, many organizations feel that we should plant trees. And I would say, no, planting trees is good. We should definitely do that. But thinking that planting trees is going to solve the problem of global warming and climate change, then it's myth. And I can show you a little calculation. The annual global carbon emission per year is 40 billion tons. And if a tree is grown 25-30 years of its life, then it absorbs something like 800 to 1000 kilograms. Let's say higher side, 1000 kilograms, which means 1 ton that it absorbs in 30 years of life. So first of all, for 40 billion tons of carbon that is emitted every single year, we need 40 billion trees. Secondly, those trees should be of 30 years age. So we have to multiply by 30. It becomes 1.3 trillion saplings that we need every single year. But we also know that every sapling we are going to plant, it is not going to become a tree of 30-year-old. The success rate may be 10, 15, 20%. So then you have to multiply by 5 again. So typically we would need something like 6 to 8 trillion saplings to be planted every single year. And I think to make the statistics clear and the numbers clear, you know how many trees are standing on the planet right now? If you consider the entire planet, only about 3 trillion trees. So I hope it is clear that plantation is not a solution. It is not scalable. There is not enough space available. So let's not get confused between symbolic gesture and the real fixing of the climate. Well, another myth is collecting plastic and recycling will help us to solve the problem of environment and climate change. No, it doesn't. Well, collecting plastic and recycling is definitely good. It keeps the oceans and rivers clean. It keeps the public places clean. We should definitely collect, recycle, and decompose whenever possible. But thinking that this process will help us in environmental restoration or mitigating climate change, that is going to be a myth only. Anyway, of the total carbon emission that we cause, the plastic processing is only 3 to 4%. That's a small portion. While all the production and consumption that we do contributes to 75% of the global carbon emission. Also, when you're going to collect the plastic and recycle it, it is not going to come at zero environmental cost. It will also add to some cost. Why? You need vehicles to collect it, you need machines to process it, you need to put some energy, some chemicals. So therefore, collecting plastic is cool, but it doesn't cool the environment. It doesn't mitigate the climate change. So collecting plastic recycling is environmental necessity, but it is not the solution for climate change. I hope it is clear to you. When I'm traveling all over the country, I find many people are working for making policies for betterment of environment and solving the problem of global warming and climate change. But wait, are they working? No, they are not. Why do I say that? Because we have been making policies last 30-40 years. There is a Kyoto Protocol, there is a Paris Agreement, there are COP meetings. COP meetings have been held for last 30 years. And who attends this meeting? Prime ministers, presidents, big leaders of the world comes together and attend COP meetings to discuss only one thing: how to mitigate climate change, reduce carbon emission. But let us be very honest. As we are trying to make more and more policies, is the problem of climate change getting solved, or it is accelerating? Actually, it is accelerating. So yes, policies are good, but they are only good when people are ready to take action. And the truth is, individuals have not been taking action. We have been trying to make rules and regulation, but agreement does not stop climate change. Peoples do. So policy is the plan, but people are the power. Until we are going to change, nothing will change. I hope you understand that policies alone are not the solution. And I think many people are almost certain that technology will save us from the catastrophic effect of global warming and climate change. No, it will not. We have been developing technologies last 30-40 years. Look at where we have gone. We can go to the moon, we can send our mission to the Mars. There is advanced solar panels, electric vehicles, biomass, green hydrogen, what not. The technology has been growing by leaps and bounds. But let me ask you, what do you think? As the technologies are growing, is the problem getting solved or becoming worse? It is becoming worse, that we all know very clearly. When we try to make things more efficient, it results in more consumption. And it is not just a coincidence. There is actually theory. There is what is called Jevons paradox, which says that if the efficiency increases, consumption also increases. And there are numerous examples of this theory in our day-to-day life. Let us take an example of LED. It's a very efficient lighting, right? As compared to CFL, you can get the same light output in half of the power. But tell me, ever since LEDs have come, the number of lights installed in the room has also increased. That's a personal experience I can tell you. We have made our cars more efficient, but we started driving more. We are trying to make electricity cheaper and cheaper, but as a result, we are consuming more because there are more gadgets that sits in our homes and offices. So in reality, technology is not reducing the core problem, the consumption, rather it is turbocharging it, isn't it? So technology is a tool, it is not a cure. It is not the solution for the climate change. I hope you understand this.